You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
Oh Behave is brought to you by Swipe It. Literally swipes away cat hair from virtually any surface. Go to swipeits.com. SWIPETS.com.
It's Oh Behave with Arden Moore, the show that teaches you how to have harmony in the household with your pets. Join Arden as she travels coast to coast to help millions better understand why cats and dogs do what they do. Get the latest scoop on famous faces, their perfectly pampered pets, and who's walking who in Rin Tin Tinseltown. From famous pet experts and best-selling authors to television and movie stars, you'll get the latest buzz from wagging tongues and tails. Garner great pet tips and have a doggone fur-flying fun time. So get ready for the pause and applause as we unleash your Oh Behave host, America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore.
Welcome to the Oh Behave show on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Arden Moore. Hola, amigas and amigos. Today's show takes place in a little town in Mexico between Rosarito and Ensenada. I happily made this road trip from San Diego to meet in person with our special guest. You know him as the star of the hit show on Animal Planet called Pit Boss. And pit bulls, bully breeds all over the planet know him as the guy they can count on. Please give pause and applause to Shorty Rossi. So before we begin, we need to take a quick commercial break. So everyone just sit and stay and don't even think about taking a siesta.
Time for a pause. 4 furry ones, actually. Sit and stay. Oh Behave will be right back.
Pause up. I'm Arden Moore, and I'm here to tell you about a revolutionary new product that literally swipes away cat hair from virtually any surface. You know, most of us struggle with a roller or vacuum cleaner to clean up cat hair, but anyone who has tried either of these knows they just don't work very well. But Swipe It's patent-pending glove has a magnetic-like quality that removes cat hair from almost everything. Right, Ziki? Right, Murphy? And best of all, Swipe It is machine washable, so you can use it over and over again. To order, just visit swipeits.com. That's SWIPETS. A simple solution for shedding.
Let's talk pets on PetLifeRadio.com. Oh Behave is back with more tail-wagging ways to achieve harmony in the household with your pets. Now, back to your fetching host, America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore.
Welcome back to the Oh Behave show on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Arden Moore. Have Mike, must travel. We're here in Mexico with Shorty Rossi, star of Pit Boss, the show that airs on Animal Planet. He's also the featured celebrity for the Amazing Pet Expos and travels all over the country with his sweet pit bull, Hercules. Also joining me on the show today is Casey Dean. He is publisher of the San Diego Pet Magazine. I'm here on a double assignment, taping this radio show and interviewing Shorty for my cover story in San Diego Pets Magazine, set for this special January-February issue. Now, Casey and I just walked into Shorty's colorful casa, and we were greeted by Hercules and the 6 other bully breeds on the premise. And you're going to hear a little squawking in the background during the show. That's because there's also 11 birds in the casa. We just shook hands with the one and only Shorty Rossi. He's wearing a stylish fedora, and his left hand is holding one of his signature cigars. You guys are in for a treat. The chance to hear what Shorty Rossi has to say about pit bulls, Cesar Millan, Charlie Chaplin, being an ex-con, and so much more. So let's just dive in.
Charlie had a rough life. He grew up with disruptive parents. You know, he had a very, bad childhood. He came from nothing, became a success, a world phenomenal, really. And then he still got, criticized by the U.S. government for supposedly being a communist, and they kicked him out of the country, and he still didn't let that stop him doing what he did, and ended up being a success outside of the U.S. and didn't let nothing get him down, and I kind of admire him for that type of life, and kind of similar to some of the things that happened in my life.
People know you for champion pit bulls, but you're also gaining quite a stellar reputation as a cigar maker, Shorty. Tell us a little bit more about your cigar line.
I've been in the cigar business since 2010, and we have a line of 7 cigars out under the Shorty line, and it's doing pretty good. So I've been smoking them since I've been at junior high, and it started out with the cheap stuff, and didn't become a connoisseur until my late 20s. And now I'm lucky enough to have my own line. I mean, actually last night we're feeling the pain. We were in Mexicali doing a cigar event.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they're even sold, in Mexico and the U.S. and, and in Canada.
When you say feeling the pain, you did a little too much celebrating?
Well, it was a cigar and beer store, so.
Oh, there you go. That answers that. So, tips on cigar selection. What would you say? What, like the Shorty line, what is it that you would say this is why if you're going to have a good cigar you need to look for?
Well, depending on what the person's taste is, because not everyone could smoke a Diesel Shorty, the original, because it's a very strong and full-bodied cigar, so they may want something mild, which we have a cigar that we blended called San Bejito. In translation means Saint Shorty, because it's a more milder, cigar. So depending what the person's tastes are, and we have every taste imaginable to every cigar people like. Our cigar size is a trademark 4.5 by 60. It's a short, fat cigar, which a lot of people like and don't like. So there's, choices. So, and it's just depending on the people's palate of what they like. Sometimes if they don't know what they like to smoke, okay, do you like coffee? Yes.
Okay.
Well, do you like Italian roast or do you like a light roast?
Okay.
Do you like wine? Well, tell me what kind of wines you like. Do you like Merlots or do you like White Zins? Or, I can tell the people's palate by that. And they say, oh, okay, so you don't like Italian roast coffee and you don't like Merlot, so you're not going to like 2 or 3 of these cigars.
That's actually a pretty good parallelism to get them, Okay.
Sometimes I'm like, do you like to eat more steaks or do you like to eat more fish or chicken? You can tell by somebody what they are. I mean, with me, it's just like, I like dark roast coffee, I like the strongest wine possible, and I like strong cigars. So that's, and I like to have a steak that's, burnt on the outside and rare on the inside, so that's my palate, and a lot of people don't like it, I can't hang with it, but that's me.
Okay, you're a proud pit bull papa. Now let's run down all the bully breeds that share the casa with you here in Mexico.
There's 7.
7? And let's go, I know we got Hercules and Mario, we'll save them for last, but let's run down the other ones.
We have Valentino.
How old is Valentino?
Holy hell, 4.
Okay.
We have Athena, which is around 2.5. We have Domenico, which is 6.
Okay.
Bebi, B-E-B-I, who is going on 11.
Wow.
Sophia is 9 months. And then we have Hercules, who's 9, and Mario, who's now probably 16, 17 months.
Okay.
Mario is the only one that's not a pit bull. He's a bully-type breed. He's a Dogo Argentino. And I ended up getting him, not by really choice, I had to accept him. When we did some PR work last year in Argentina, this breed has got the same reputation as pit bulls do in the U.S.
Really?
So the government of Buenos Aires gave me Mario.
Tell me about that. I mean, you were there for what?
Well, we were there promoting the show. The show's in all over Latin America.
Right.
So we were down there promoting the show. And we got to do a lot of things, meet a lot of government officials, meet a lot of rescue people, and visit. It was really interesting. And then we, got to learn the culture. And, they say, they have dog rescues down there and everything, and they gave me Mario. And they just said my responsibility was to get him from Buenos Aires to Los Angeles. And
how hard was that?
It wasn't how hard, it was how expensive. It was like over $1,500 total by the time I got Mario.
Really?
Yeah, but can't turn people down when they give you a gift.
No. Wow.
And then when that happened, I was like, well, because we've been trying to find Hercules' replacement. Right. When we got Valentino, that turned out to be, gone south because he doesn't like crowds.
Okay. And his name is Valentino. He's a lover, but he's not a lover.
Oh, he's, and he's at time he can, react out of fear. Then we got Athena over here when she was rescued at a junkyard, and I said, oh, she'll work out. Her energy level is beyond reality. And even right now, she's just panting away. You know, she doesn't want to listen. I mean, the only thing she knows is to sit and stay, and that's it. The minute you walk, you boom. So that didn't work. So now we got Mario. I said, okay, not knowing how big this thing was going to get.
Is Mario the white?
The white one,
okay.
which is a Dogo Argentino. That's his breed.
And how big is he going to get?
Hopefully no more. Because
how much does he weigh now?
Over about 120 at least. We haven't weighed him in a while.
How's that compare to Hercules and her?
75. I mean, you can already see the height. I mean, the weight, the look of Mario. And they don't stop growing until they're like 2.5 years old, large breeds.
They fill out, yeah.
Yeah, so, but we started training him. We actually took him on his first plane ride. Me, one of my assistants, Hercules, and Mario, we went to Nicaragua for cigar business.
When was this?
That had to have been midsummer. And he was doing good. We flew from LA to Houston to Managua. And he did great. He got up there, he'd start touring the different factories, and then all of a sudden he didn't want no one coming around me.
Oh, he was protective.
He was being very protective, so flying him back was not the funnest thing in the world, because then it became, okay, you can pet Mario, then you know what? He's in training, please don't touch him. And he's just a big, massive, protective dog. Our dog trainer in Los Angeles, his name is Tim Williams, has been working on him.
Okay.
And he's been calming down. He still has that kid in him, but he's too big to act like a kid. And then as you can hear by his bark, it just scares the life out of people when you're walking him in public. And the trainer, funny, he trains giraffes, baboons, dogs, everything for the movie industry. He actually trained the monkey for Hangover 2.
Oh, okay.
So he's the trainer of the thing.
Oh, okay.
So if he can train all of them, hopefully we can do Mario. Otherwise, we're going to have to find another adopted puppy.
Well, let's talk about Hercules, because Hercules has what you want in the next successor. But tell me a little bit about Hercules.
Hercules was rescued in Las Vegas from a litter of puppies. Mm-hmm. And I decided to keep one of them, and we kept Hercules, but at that time, Geisha was my service animal, or becoming my service animal for my back. And we kept him. In his first 13 months, he was a disaster of drywall terror.
Oh, no.
And then all of a sudden, he was actually supposed to get adopted out when my back did go out. And we were going to San Francisco for rehabilitation. And for some reason, when I was in bed, he just wouldn't leave the bed the entire time and bonded. And it just went from there. He didn't get adopted out. And 9 years now, he's probably the world's most popular dog at the moment.
I love the name, too. What's the special bond you have with bully breeds?
Pit bulls and pit bull type dogs and bully breeds are very misunderstood. People, because of the media hype, judge them for what they hear and not for what they really are. And I kind of understand that, because at the same time, little people get misunderstood, and where people just don't take them serious, so they're not circus freaks, but they are doctors, lawyers, and business owners too. And so I kind of understand that, and at the same time, being an ex-convict, I'm misjudged before, and so I have the bond of like, you know what, I know how you feel.
Yeah. Shorty, you do a lot of crossing the border, going back and forth from your home in L.A. to your casa here in Mexico. Is there any issues as to what you can bring into Mexico?
Well, because of Hercules traveling, I couldn't keep a consistent diet. Speaking of the devil, you heard the word. And so someone introduced me into this freeze-dry, and he has a lot of allergy problems, and so did Geisha before she passed. So we tried it, and he's completely on it. And the other dogs are half dry and half the raw. And then they get chicken feet. And
Hercules is doing well with it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. What was the signs of allergy? Would nibble and paws?
Well, no, a little of it was food, but a lot of it is involved in environmental, because of the chemicals they put on the carpets and the hotels, the planes, and everywhere else. And so it's helped, and plus he's on, medication too, so that he has no problem right now. And they always ask, so why do you live down here? It's the culture, the freedom, able to have a bigger house at a cheaper price, and everyone in Mexico has a price.
How big a house is this, square footage-wise?
Over 2,500, I guess. It's deceiving when you first walk in, as you realize, because it looks small, and then it opens up. And
so it's like a lot of additions built on it through the years, or was it always just designed like this?
I have no idea.
And did you do all this artwork and everything?
The colors, not the ceiling, but the colors are most of them, because everything red was a turquoise in here, or a teal.
Okay.
So we got rid of that. My bedroom, which you'll see, was purple, and I had to change that. The outside of the house, was teal.
Now, do you rent or own this?
This one I rent.
Okay.
Which, once they get the transfer of ownership done, because it was my landlord's mother house, and she passed away in '98, and they going through all kinds of red tape in Mexico to get it, because they waited so long to transfer it. Now they're giving, why are you just now doing it? And
so would you like to buy this?
Oh, yeah, eventually, yeah. It's, I don't know, you can see we're on a mountain right now. You're coming in, you didn't see that, but there's the view and a half, which is, you'll see in a minute.
Okay, listeners, we'll be back with more from our special guest, Shorty Rossi, the star of Pit Boss, right after this commercial break.
Time for a walk on the red carpet, of course. All Behave will be back in a flash right after these messages.
Pause up. I'm Arden Moore, and I'm here to tell you about a revolutionary new product that literally wipes away cat hair from virtually any surface. Most of us struggle with a roller or vacuum cleaner to clean up cat hair, but anyone who has tried either of these knows they just don't work very well. But Swipe It's patent-pending glove has a magnetic-like quality that removes cat hair from almost everything. Right, Ziki? Right, Murphy? And best of all, Swipe It is machine washable, so you can use it over and over again. To order, just visit swipeits.com. That's SWIPETS. A simple solution for shedding.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com. We're back from the lot. Just checked the paper and we had a record showing at the box. The letterbox, that is. Now back to Oh Behave. Here's Arden.
Welcome back to the O Behave Show. I'm your host, Arden Moore. Casey Dean, the publisher of San Diego Pets Magazine, and I are here in Mexico with Shorty Rossi, the star of Pit Boss on Animal Planet. He's also the featured celebrity for Amazing Pet Expos held all over the country. So let's continue. So, Shorty, do you feel safe living in Mexico?
I mean, I got the best security in the world. I got 7 dogs, 16 cameras, and 3 locals. And then everyone asks why you've never been robbed or burglarized. Hello? First of all, Mario, there's been houses.
That's a great. That's 16 cameras, 7 dogs.
There's actually a house right out front when you first come in, has been robbed, and there's a security guard there, okay?
Yeah.
It's...
Power to the pits.
It's the noise. And I mean, you try to promote not being afraid of those dogs, but at the same time, you don't want people coming in.
Yeah.
And dogs are different where you have one in the house or you have 7. 7's a pack.
Yep.
And no matter if it's a pack of bulldogs or Doberman pinchers or, German shepherds or Rottweilers, a pack is a pack. And a pack acts different. I train my guys, to treat this house as a prison. You have to double check every lock, everything. It's like the Charlie Chaplin door you came in. That has to be locked no matter what, because one, if someone comes in, and even if usually there's Hercules and Valentino in the front section. We put Valentino away when you got here. But we don't want another dog coming in. We don't want another dog by mistake, or someone else coming in and accidentally getting snapped at. People will stick their hands in the gate. What is wrong with you? People, don't do that. This is their property, So, so there's no mistakes. There's no nothing. Everything's locked. That door right there is locked right now because you see the key hanging there, but it's like the reason why the key's hanging there, they'd lock the door and leave the key in the thing. I'm like, guys, you're defeating the purpose of security. You'll lock the gate, you leave and leave the key in there. I'm like, no. And then, but so it's a 24-hour house. I make it my house, my home. I mean, once you see the tour, you'll understand why I'm not married, because this is a man cave. Usually somebody has their own garage or one room. Yeah. My whole house is my cave.
That's cool.
It's where, I come to work. I come to get away from society. And another thing people don't understand me, even my friends down here, when we come down here, and they're like, come on, let's go to Ensenada. Why?
You got it right here.
I'm like, I am to travel the world. I don't want to go around another human being. This is my place.
You've been in a lot of popular movies. You've worked with some of the top actors like Bruce Willis, Eddie Murphy, Jim Carrey, and even Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, we bumped into each other actually at a cigar retail convention.
Oh.
And the funny thing is, I met him once before at Universal Studios when I was filming a Miller Lite commercial, and he was doing one of his movies, and I had the chance to meet him. And then when I saw him last year, he knew who I was. I said, you didn't know, about 8 years ago you met me. And he's like, well, it's on Universal a lot. You wouldn't even remember. There's so many little people that run through there. And he goes, yeah. He goes, you chatted for a couple of seconds and then went on.
What'd you think?
Nice guy. I have, in the entertainment community, he's easy to work with, I hear. I mean, I've worked with several different $1 million actors, and some of them were great, like Jim Carrey.
Yeah, let's talk about the ones you like, because you've been in, like...
Jim Carrey is Jim Carrey. He's a real nice guy. He's comical on camera, off camera. You go to Eddie Murphy, not too sociable, very serious, nothing to the point and everything, and that's it. I mean, Bruce Willis, you always want to tend to ask, who's the director here?
Yeah.
he takes over. Angelica Houston, she's very professional, very funny. Jeff Garland, he was down to earth because he was doing daddy daycare with Eddie Murphy, and when the PAs used to go get him stuff, he goes, I can get it myself. So he was still down to earth. So it was, and I mean.
Well, you also, with your Shorty production, I forgot the...
Shorty Wood.
Yeah. Tell me, how's that helping others get some gigs and things like that?
Well, I mean, Shorty Wood Productions is basically kind of wound down a little because the amount of time and effort you have to put into that company and the what you get out of it is nowhere near what I can do
with cigars,
appearance fees and stuff like that for me. And it's people always ask, he goes, if you could be any actor or whatever, who would you be? And I'm like, I'm doing what I do best. I'm on TV and I'm not portraying no one but myself, and I'm getting paid for it to be myself. That's the best type of acting job ever to have. What type of movie? Would you like to be an action hero? Would you like to be, something like that? And I'm like, I'm doing the best thing I've always wanted to do. Is I'm being me.
That's right.
I don't have to
getting
act.
Paid for it.
I don't have to. Yeah, and so it's just that's what's happening, and people are like, yeah.
You said in some things I've read, like that going to jail and all these other things, in a way, it made you a pretty cool person now. So
it's kind of funny you say that about prison. Is like I post throwback photos all the time, and the other day I posted on Facebook a throwback photo of my mugshot.
Oh, really? I'd love to see that. Yeah.
Yeah, 18, 19.
You were probably scared out of your mind a little bit, weren't you?
Not really. It was more of a interesting thing. But so I got some comments. He goes, "Why would you embarrass yourself and post that?" Or, "I'm sorry that you went to prison." I'm like, people, if I did not go to jail, I'd probably either be dead or just nothing, and you would never be talking to me right now. I tell people, no matter what I've been through in life, of a rough childhood or running with a gang, going to prison, if I didn't do those things, I wouldn't be the man I am today. So I have no regrets on the decisions I've made. Some of them were not too good, but again, some kid asked me that when I was out of school. He goes, "Oh yeah." He goes, "But you're telling us to stay out of trouble, stay out of gangs, stay out of this, and you're a success they call me a TV star, and you make a lot of money. Why can't we be like you?" And I'm like, what do I say here? I said, well, you know what? Because of my lifestyle, because of who I am, I never got married. I never had any kids. I disappointed my family. Do you want to do that to your mother? And they're like, well, you do have a point there. I'm telling you, no matter what you go through in life, you can become successful. That does not mean going to prison first. But I
don't think Betty White went to prison. So she did all right.
Sure, Betty White did. Still doing all right.
She's pretty amazing, isn't she?
The only one left out of the Golden Girls.
You are many things, but what are you not, Shorty?
I don't train dogs. I don't have the patience to even do it. I mean, I do it like with mine because I'm around them all the time, but I get help. But I'm not a dog trainer, and people are asking, I'm like, I don't know.
Now, have you ever met Caesar or Victoria?
Yeah, Caesar Milan. I met, Victoria.
What's your thoughts on them? They're friends of mine, both of them.
Victoria's, I can't believe how prim, proper, and quiet she still is.
Really? Have you? Okay.
We were even at the bar in Syracuse together. This year, matter of fact, we did a joint event.
All right.
And
she
was
talked
very.
Was her daughter with her at that or not?
No.
Okay.
Then we were at the Genesis Awards together, and then a couple other Discovery events. So, yeah, I like her. And then Caesar.
Well, let me ask you more about her. What do you like about Victoria?
I mean, she's just a great person. She's a dog lover, and Caesar and her are two different people when it comes to dog training, and I cannot comment on either one of them because I'm not a dog trainer. A lot of people don't like Caesar's methods or whatever. They say he kicks and abuses dogs or whatever. I don't know. I don't know him.
But what about as a man? What do you think? I mean, Calvin, he seems to be really grooming Calvin to be the puppy whisperer, I guess. I like Caesar.
We do too, and we were actually on a show together. What was that? Jeff Post show.
Okay.
It was a talk show that's canceled now. Yeah. So.
What did you think of Caesar as a person?
That was like the third time I saw him, but.
I said he has the most manicured goatee of any straight man I've ever met.
There's a joke between me and Caesar that people say that kind of funny, these two pit bull guys. The Mexican left Mexico to get away from and go to the U.S. And the gringo can't keep him out of Mexico.
Shorty, we thank you for being on the show and for the tour of your casa in Mexico. But before we sign off, I have one final question. So is there anything with the Animal Planet with Pit Boss this year you want to tease us about?
I can only say that we'll be back. Me and Hercules will be back on TV next year, next summer. That's all we're allowed to say.
Okay.
We can't say what, who, when, or where.
All right. Well, listeners, we'll just have to wait and see what will happen in this season's Pit Boss on Animal Planet. Special thanks to Casey Dean, publisher of the San Diego Pets magazine, for joining me on this road trip to Mexico. We are very grateful we had the opportunity to spend some time with Shorty Rossi, the star of Pit Boss. I also thank my producer, Mark Winter, who is the genius behind the entire lineup of shows on Pet Life Radio. And guess what, folks? We're also on iHeartRadio, so check us out. So until next time, this is your flea-free host, Arden Moore, delivering just 2 words to all you 2, 3, and 4-leggers out there. Oh, behave.
Coast to coast and around the world, it's Oh Behave with Arden Moore. Find out why cats and dogs do the things they do and get the latest buzz from wagging tongues and tails in Rin Tin Tinseltown. From famous pet experts and best-selling authors to television and movie stars, you'll get great tail-wagging pet tips and have a fur-flying fun time. All Behave with America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore. Every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.